Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Off Meta podcast. I'm Levy.
I'm Nukon.
I'm Chi-Fi.
I'm Herex, I guess.
I'm Adam.
The first episode, we're going to talk about the new World of Warcraft expansion, The War Within, and how we've all found it so far. You want to start us off, Tri-Fi?
Sure. So I'm playing Mistweaver Monk at the moment, raiding in off meta. It's the first time that I've actually stepped into Mythic raiding, so it's been quite an interesting journey so far. Really enjoy playing the Monk, melee healer. The War Within's been kind of different for me. I haven't played a healer before at this level, so that's been, I've been getting used to that. But it's been exciting and been fun, but it's been also stressful, especially in M+. So yeah, but it's been good. It's been a learning experience, been fun, and looking forward to the next tier.
What about you, Adam?
Same as Chai. It's been my first time doing Mythic raiding. I was playing Prop Paladin in the first season. And yeah, I guess it's just been fun. Getting to know a lot of new people.
Nukon?
Normally I do Mythic raiding, and this time was no different. I was in 2 guilds this time around. I managed to get up to Silken Court, so not quite cutting edge because my guild decided that it was time to call it a day towards the end of the tier. But yeah, I play a Ret Paladin and have done since probably about Legion. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the War Within up to the bit where we stopped raiding.
Yeah, I think you've got the most different experience here, right, Herex?
Yeah, for sure. I got gifted the game by Adam. Maybe like how many months into the season? Like 5?
It was like, yeah, that was probably about it actually.
So around like
4.
around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And so basically everyone else had already, the hype has died down. Everyone's already have all of their, all their shit done. So I'm just in there enjoying the enjoying the casual experience, so to speak. I started playing as a Death Knight because that's what I played back in like Wrath, I guess was the first time I played it. And yeah, I just played it casually, and then because all of my friends here had already been doing the raiding, I could basically get carried into keys and into raids as much as I wanted, or as much as they had time to. And I managed to, for the first time this expansion, do Mythic raiding, pugging everything up to a 4 out of whatever, 4 out of 8, 4 out of 9.
Yeah, it's 4 out of 8.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's like a casual, hardcore experience in a way, because I don't
Actual
think a lot of
hardcore
people.
experience.
I mean, it's not hardcore like hardcore WoW, but I mean like
It's a step up for you, right? Because you only did
it's a
Heroic
step up.
previously.
Yeah, it's a step up for me because yeah, in the previous expansion I played with a guild and we managed to beat Heroic. Wait, did we manage to beat Heroic? I don't even remember.
You got
Almost
cursed.
in the first tier.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Like this tier, you mean last expansion?
No,
you played?
last expansion's first tier, and then I quit.
Okay.
Um,
You guys did get curved, didn't you?
Yeah, we got curve.
Yeah.
So for me,
so
sorry.
no, I was done.
Okay, yeah. For me, I've been on and off doing Mythic since BFA, I think. But I've never got cutting edge or anything like that. But I've got Mythic experience from various tiers. But this time I've started my own guild with these guys, and so far it's gone pretty well. So hoping next tier to get to at least the penultimate boss and go from there, really.
I think it's one of those
Except me.
things, though. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Except me. I'm not a part.
Yeah, true.
I didn't get invited. I was too late.
You can't turn up 5 months late, okay? If you're there at the
Look, it
start.
was out of my hands.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's one of those things, though, isn't it? It's like getting to the last boss and doing it is it's getting harder and harder and harder to do each tier. Mythic itself is becoming like a second job. That's one of the reasons why my guild died, is because the raid leader he's like one of the best raid leaders I've ever had. Sorry, he is the best raid leader I've ever had, and it's literally like a second job for him. So he's like works from home, but he spends like hours and hours and hours putting together these spreadsheets. He's in like the raid leader Discord and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's still then having to compile all the information and then apply it to our guild, like setting up healer cooldowns. He's
Yeah,
not
of
doing it all
course.
himself. He's got some help, but it's like I forgot what the website's called now, but basically the website that gives you the spreadsheet, like the
Yeah,
raid plan, I think it's called.
yeah.
And he spent hours and hours and hours, and I think we had like 50 slides or something per like. I think it was like 50 or 60 slides for Silken Court. So it's just insane amounts of information that's
damn.
needed and preparation.
Yeah, that's the
Mm.
issue I've been noticing, because this is the first time I'm in my own guild. I've always just joined guilds, and if it's died, then I've either taken a break or gone to another guild or something like that. But the hardest part so far has been surprisingly just finding the people,
Yeah, I
because
think that's always been the thing, though. I think
it could be.
it depends kind of what level of guild you're in at, right? If you're a cutting edge guild, you probably have lots of people wanting to apply. But if you're like in between that, there's lots of guilds that are on that level,
Yeah,
or
well,
sort of in between.
I think we hit the worst of all worlds, really, because we started late. So I created the guild after my first guild died. The first guild I was in was really good, but there was just some unfortunate events which meant that we couldn't continue into Mythic. So then I decided to make my own guild, and by that point, people were already like their team was already established, right? That much through the tier. So
Yeah, we were just a bit late.
yeah,
But we did it.
I
yeah,
feel like that's a common theme. We're all a bit late.
yeah. But I mean, we was able to get 4 out of 8, so we managed to get Ration done. But something I would like to touch on is the difficulty of raid tiers. Like, I don't know how you guys felt, but for me, the Brood Twister fight wasn't really. The fight itself didn't feel too difficult. It was a case of wiping and wiping until you were able to set up your weak auras and get everybody working. And I don't know how you guys feel, but for me, this feels like it feels tedious rather than difficult, and it's not really what I'm hoping to see in the future.
I don't really ever like being in a situation where one person has to basically be like a bot and move markers around, and like basically their only job is to exist and be like the leader and point you to this, that, and the other. And Brood Twister kind of felt like that. You needed specific weak auras that gave you a marker, and then on top of that, you then had to have a specific person moving around each marks, because you had to break specific eggs at specific points. If you missed an egg, you'd wipe completely. Don't know if they've changed that now, but I don't think they have. I think it's still the same. I think if you miss an egg on Brood Twister Mythic, you basically just wipe. And it's pretty much the same. If you like miss an interrupt or two, you could maybe miss one, maybe two if you have like defensives, but other
It's
than
on
that,
the
if
worms, right?
on the
Yeah.
worms, but if you miss like basically anything else, you basically get a guaranteed wipe. Maybe it's easier now with the DPS check. I think I've only cleared it the once, and then we've like extended, but I cleared it, I think, when we only had one or two of the stacking buff.
Right.
So we didn't actually have like a huge increase of DPS. But yeah, I kind of just felt I didn't mind the fight. I just don't like fights where it feels like you need one person who's only playing the fight, so to speak. So like they have to like control certain things, i.e., like world markers to make sure people stand in the right place, like that sort of stuff. I feel like it should be intuitive of what actually needs to happen, and
A lot of like individual responsibility on each person rather than just one person.
Yeah. They could have just done it
Yeah.
where it was like the game puts the mark on you and you have to go and stand. Like if they had it that way, like something like Odin in Halls of Valor, where you
Yeah.
get like the marking above your head and you have to go to the corresponding mark. Like that would have been fine, because that whole one person just has to set up things is just so annoying.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. I've kind of forgotten the mechanic exists. It's way
Yeah.
better. I guess I guess what they're wanting to do is to make it so people aren't just hard assigned something, because if you're assigned something, you're scripted essentially, and what they want to do
Yeah.
is make you think, which is
Yeah,
kind
but
of why.
the thing
Go
is,
on,
it
Larry,
did some like positions were hard assigned, right? They were like evokers and boomkins were going to like a
Yeah, we
specific
did.
place all the time.
Yeah, we had specific classes, or literally what you're saying. Boomkins and evokers were hard assigned to specific locations or specific marks, which again, in turn, are hard assigned by the location.
Yeah.
So that they can be in place to knock the ads and stuff in.
I mean, this is a completely different can of worms, realistically. But do you think that it's a good thing that they're designing fights where they essentially now expect people to have like a suite of weak aura packages for them to do the fight? Is that still the direction you guys think we should go in?
No.
No. I
Because good lord, my
I'd rather
computer
do
can't
away with
handle
weak
it.
I'm trying to think of a fight where they don't have weak auras, where like it's actually a good fight without weak auras.
Yeah,
What
because
were you saying, Adam?
sorry, go on.
No, that was it. I think.
Yeah, part
Um,
of me agrees with it just feels like allowing for weak auras. I'm not sure if they're ever going to roll it back. I think we're probably past that point, to be honest. But
Yeah,
allowing
definitely.
for it does feel like it just allows for them to make sloppy raid designs, and then they don't have to worry about optimizing it or making it visually clear because they know that the weak auras will solve the issue.
it depends on like how much they can do while accounting for weak auras, because you don't want fights that are designed around having weak auras.
They
Um,
effectively are,
if
though, right? Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
if it gets to that point, you need to start getting rid of them. But
Yeah, but it's a kind of like a
uh,
chicken and egg thing, right? Because if you make a fight if you make a fight that's not designed with weak auras in mind, people will still make weak auras for it, and it will just be too easy.
you need mechanics that like don't need weak auras to tell you what to do. But then it just risks being too easy, I guess.
Didn't
I
they
like
say
mechanic.
that they were going to stop or make fights that were weak aura? Like,
They
I
have
no.
think that's
like
the hidden aura you're
auras,
talking about, right?
yeah.
But that
Yeah.
led to a bigger issue because then I don't remember exactly how it was done. I'm pretty sure they spoke about it before on the Podyssey, where they essentially had a macro where if you had the hidden aura applied to you, you press the macro and then it would trigger the script that would then essentially do exactly what a weak aura would do, just with one more step.
Yeah, so Small's run was that boss. I only did that boss once, but we had it on Mythic, and you basically had, I don't know, I don't even think it was that much for a thing. It was just said like me or something, or I don't even think there was anything like deep about what was actually written in the macro. I think the macro was literally just like me or I have the thing, or it was like a
Yeah.
specific word or something. And I think the weak aura then picks up on that, and then the hidden aura is not hidden. It's whoever says whatever they say, and then it generates a list of 1, 2, 3, 4 people, or however many people have the mechanic. And then the mechanic was you have to soak an orb, and if you soak 2 orbs in a row within like 8 seconds or whatever it was, you would wipe the raid.
Right.
So basically, it would just then go. I would say I would go me, then someone else would go me, whatever, and then it would give the raid leader a list and be like, X is 1, Y is 2, B is 3 or whatever, and then give you the list, and then the raid leader can then call out and say, right, X do now, blah blah, do now, blah blah, do now, and then it
Yeah.
allows them like that's the way they're kind of getting around that private aura thing.
Yeah. So I mean, it's fair to say that it just didn't work, right? In reality.
Yeah, no. But I don't think they need to necessarily get rid of weak auras, but I think they definitely should be making fights. I don't know if there are that many fights that you can use that aren't like weak aura based. Like I'm just trying to think, like even Silken Court, it's purely a dance. I don't really know if weak auras really helped us that much on that fight. The biggest one was the
Yeah.
Dispel, probably.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Silken Court Mythic.
I was just about to ask as
Specifically.
well, like how many of the bosses like actually require that seems like Brute Twister seems like the only one that was like weak aura pilled, right? The
Yeah.
others don't seem like you need it that badly. Like weak auras assist you in the others, but it's not like you need them.
I think it just became a problem in my mind because now, as someone who's like now starting to lead a guild, I was questioning whether it would become a situation where I don't know if you remember in Dragonflight there was a boss where once they killed it, every guild that was able to kill it using, I think it was a bug, but it's whatever it was, when they was able to kill the boss in the second tier, they just permanently extended after that because they knew if they went
I was
back and did it after it
yeah,
was fixed, there was no hope
Mythic's
of
just
killing it.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if Brew Twister was that. I would say probably not. But if we were in a position where we had a stable roster consistently enough to kill that boss, I think I would have been in that position where we would just permanently extend after that.
I think
Yeah.
with the gear, it becomes much easier though, because I
That's
saw
true.
like videos of people just killing it before they even like literally just getting to the third side
Yeah,
and full sending, and it was dead.
yeah, that's true. That's another thing. Moving on from that boss, what did you guys think of the raid buff, the stacking raid buff that we got?
The one where you like talk to the
Yeah, the
you
finery.
had in your coins
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the finery.
No opinion, to be honest. It was nice, I guess, but I don't know if I felt it.
I think it made a much bigger impact than I expected it to, if I'm being honest.
I think Hax wouldn't feel it because he came in with it at like
Too
basically
late.
full
Yeah.
full send.
Yeah,
We
that is
experienced it with
true.
literally no buff, right? And then I don't know what it's at now, but when I last was playing, it was like 20. No, it was like 10, 15%. I think it was actually it was more than that.
10.
Probably
Yeah.
higher than that now.
I'm not sure what the stacks are now, but I initially thought it wouldn't really have an impact, and then I personally found that it actually was quite strong.
I mean, your whole raid doing 20% DPS or
Yeah.
10% DPS
Yeah.
is massive.
Yeah.
I think what Avantis Rune is, Avantis Rune I think is normally like 3% DPS, which is a pretty massive DPS increase.
Mm.
Yeah, it kind of sucks for the guilds that are actually like doing it earlier, that a guild can just come along later and get the same achievement or whatever.
I don't think it sucks for them. There's a
Oh, 'cause
reason
they
why
should be
those
further
guilds
ahead,
are there,
right?
right?
I mean,
They-
yeah,
They want world rank.
but I mean, a year or two down the line, they've still got the same achievement, and people are going to forget that it
But
got easier, right?
That's the same as doing cutting edge like a month into the tier or 6 months into the tier.
Mm.
I could be wrong, but I think the only people in Mythic that really care about like the accolades are the people in like the top 100, right? The Hall of Fame guilds.
The Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
whether you get that or not is like that's a completely different level of player, right? Like if you're worried about people getting cutting edge in the last week of a Mythic raid tier and you got it like 2 weeks before them, you're just being petty, honestly. Like who cares?
I think you'd be surprised though how many people like actually want those guild ranks. I remember my guild was like they didn't really care, but my GM got like not annoyed, but he very much liked to keep around the same or do better rankings than what we had done like in previous tiers.
I
Yeah,
think that
of
makes
course.
sense though.
But that's like a
That makes
recruitment
sense,
thing
like
as well.
from
Sorry.
exactly, yeah, from a recruitment standpoint. If you're like
Yeah.
getting cutting edge at the beginning versus at the end, it's completely different because
Yeah.
people are going to go onto your guild site and look at when you've killed it, right? And if you've killed it like towards the end, you're not going to be the same as the guilds who killed it earlier.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some truth in that. And as someone
And
who's
even
now recruiting, that is something that I do think about. Like it matters, but it only matters in that sense as like a recruiter. If you're just a raider and you're like, I don't like it that they've been able to get cutting edge, like stop. Like just don't.
I think it can also play an impact in the lower levels. Like when I was doing like playing with another guild and we were only like clearing heroic and stuff like that, there's kind of like this fun rivalry between guilds and at that
Yeah.
level. So
Yeah.
you want a new, or like if you've left a guild and you've joined a new guild, and then there's like this incentive to beat that guild and stuff like that, which can be quite fun.
Yeah, I like that. I think like a healthy rivalry is good. Like that's just fun. As long as it doesn't get to like well, as long as it just stays like a healthy rivalry, right? If you let it get to a point where it bothers you, then too far.
There's always gonna be people that take competitiveness too seriously.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's kind of part of the course.
Yeah, you're gonna have a bit of that, but at the end of the day, as long as you're able to look back and just laugh about it, it's fine, right? As long as it don't go too far.
But yeah, like us, it gets me to thinking like, what are your favorite bosses? Like, what's your favorite boss from this tier?
Probably Kai'Veza. I think I really enjoyed Kai'Veza.
I think that's an interesting one. I quite liked I liked Rashinan, but it felt easier than I was expecting it to be once like we finally got there.
Mm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's because we got there so late or what it was,
You
but
guys definitely got there later than.
yeah,
I
of
think I
course.
don't know how many stacks you had. Like I'm pretty sure you guys had like 10% stack when you got there. Plus most of your gear would have been like 636 ish when they got there.
I don't know
So
if
the
we
gear
had
would
any
have made a
No, I don't
massive.
think we had that
I
much
don't
gear,
think so.
to be honest.
You definitely had stacks when you did
But
it.
no, I'm just saying I don't think even if it wasn't that, I don't think the mechanics of it was that difficult, right? Like
The
Mm.
mechanics
Okay,
wasn't hard,
first-
right? It's like interrupt, move out with webs.
I know, I just expected it to feel because I before I did it, I'd seen the fight. I was watching the Race to World first, obviously, and I just thought
Mhm.
it would be way more chaotic in the moment yourself, and then
Yeah.
once I was in it, it was just
So,
pretty simple.
so our first kill in off meta was November 13th, and I was 622 eye level.
Because they didn't introduce the finery for quite a while, did they? In the season,
I
it
don't
wasn't there at the
remember.
start.
I don't remember
I
when
don't
it
think.
opened, but yeah, there was a delay for when it started.
Just check your buffs. Have you got the log? See how many stacks of the buffs you had.
Mm.
Not that it really matters, but
But I did
it's just
enjoy it.
interesting to
I did
see.
think it was a fun fight. I think that I like the. I also liked the whole aesthetic of the raid. To be fair,
I've never been one for like themes of raids. I don't really care about the themes. It's kind of cool if you have things like Nathria or Throne of Thunder, those
yeah,
ones where they do have themes. But to me, I'm not really like a lore guy. I don't really care what the raid looks like. I don't really care what the bosses look like. I just care that like the fights feel fun.
yeah, I get that. I did enjoy it though. I think the theme matters to me. I like the,
Yeah.
like you said, Nathria. Nathria stands out to me just because it was
Yeah.
such a good theme.
Yeah.
I can agree with that, dude. Nathria's gonna be one of the all-time best raids, even though that expansion sucked for me.
What about you, Herex? I know you. Did you have any favorites? I know you was late, but
I don't know, dude. I had frame drops on every single boss fight.
yeah.
To the point where I had to uninstall all add-ons.
Which
Oh.
frames did you enjoy the most?
Dude, I don't know. I also didn't even beat. Actually, I didn't even beat final boss on
That's
heroic.
Oh, you didn't get curve?
No,
really.
so I don't know.
I mean, we still have a day. We could try and get him curved. To be fair,
Here.
Yeah.
that could be
I'm
tomorrow's
sure. Yeah,
goal.
few days. I
Okay, well,
guess.
we'll report back on the next episode. Hopefully, we're gonna try and get him curved tomorrow.
Yeah.
The I don't know. I don't know which boss I liked the most. I didn't really. I don't think I felt that invested into because I am the lore guy. Like, oh, not the lore guy, but like I enjoy lore.
Bubble?
Noble
Is
in
that you?
shambles.
No, I am not noble. Okay, I'm not noble, but I'm an enjoyer of the lore.
yeah,
And I gotta say I wasn't that attached. Maybe it was because I like joined late and I wasn't
Definitely.
really like in the hype and everything. But I wasn't really like that into the lore aspects. I
yeah.
think when it comes to like the insect vibes, I don't know. I'm definitely more interested in the feet lady and her whatever her spiel is.
I'm the only Ansarek
I
dump
don't
truck
remember her name.
enjoyer. What the hell?
What's
I
her
did
name?
enjoy Ansarek. I like when fights like go in stages, like I guess like
Yeah.
Razageth kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
You
the
have like
verticality of it
your
was pretty
steps
good.
to killing the boss, and those do feel fun to me.
Yeah. My raiding experience isn't that like wide at all. I did like my first time ever raiding was in Wrath. I was a trial in a guild and I did the very first boss and then never raided again until like
Dragonflight.
until I well next the next the next well more that was more like real raiding, but then of course I did Raid Finder for most expansions after that,
yeah,
which yeah, I mean it's a very casual experience.
that is something I think that's interesting to pick up on as well. Like how, because you like so two of you have now raided Mythic for the first time.
Mm.
How do you find it going from heroic to mythic, and do you think there's a way to like ease the curve? Because part of I think what stops people from going from that step up is like the self doubt, and then once you actually do it like once or twice, you realize it's not that scary, and it's the same game.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's because I've been exposed to raiding a lot, but I think it's more about the fact that you want to get people into normal raiding over Raid Finder. Because we all know that WoW is like 90% casuals that do Raid Finder and RP in Goldshire, and then the rest are raiding, like real raiding. And I don't know, I feel like the more people that actually try normal raiding are gonna feel way more inclined to
Yeah.
try like harder difficulties.
Is the barrier just
If
to
they
sign
wanna,
up?
I think maybe it's the social aspect, because I don't know, I don't remember who it was, but there was someone that was like talking about how it's good that we're getting more of like a single player experience in WoW. And in my opinion, I feel that that's the complete wrong direction of this game. So in that sense, I could understand that like the sign up part is the barrier of entry for a lot of people because they don't want to engage with other people, I guess. And then maybe it's like also like toxic raid culture that people hear about.
But then
I think
that
I don't know
sorry,
the stats, so
you got
I don't
try.
know.
Sorry.
I think the biggest barrier, like for me personally, that I can speak about, and I think it might resonate with other people as well who have been pugging most of their raids, is like that uncertainty, like not knowing what how difficult Mythic is compared to Heroic, and also not knowing whether like you're good enough or you're capable of doing like Mythic content. And I think that's like, it's easy when you're pugging, if you're in that solo kind of mindset, it's easy to do like your heroic or your M plus, and then you don't really, there's no like self-reflection or improvement because you're like, oh, it's this person's fault or that person's fault that we wiped or something. Whereas when you join a guild who's doing Mythic progression, you're looking over everything. Like the the mistakes that you made, the mistakes that other people made. It's like a group effort. And I think people think, like I thought, oh, I feel like I'm just gonna get called out, but it's actually not like that. Like you have some leeway to kind of improve yourself, but you have to start like you have to start at the beginning of a tier, because if you start at the middle and you're coming in and everyone's had like, I don't know, like 20 30 pulls on a boss, and they expect you to
Yeah.
know these mechanics already, and then you fail, you just feel like, yeah, it's not a nice feeling, and then that's going to turn you away. But if you're learning with everyone and you get that time to fail and you get that time to like limit test and stuff like that, then it feels really fun, like you're learning with everyone else instead of
Yeah.
playing catch up.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference, right?
I think also one reason why people are dissuaded, I mean, I guess this goes into my argument about most players being casual, is that it, doing Mythic is a lot of investment of time and effort. You are gonna be stressing about doing appropriate amounts of damage depending on where you're at. You're gonna be worrying about, well, I mean, that's like the wrong words, right? I mean, you should be excited to want to put in effort and time into doing Mythic because
Yeah.
that's what you want to do, right? If you're seeing it as a chore, then there's no problem. Well, that's the problem, rather.
Yeah, I mean, if it's
But
a
I
chore
think a
for you,
lot of
right,
people
just don't
would
do it.
see it as a chore, and that's why not a lot of people try raiding at higher levels.
I think even with Mythic, the whole fact that there's a lockout makes it even more stressful for people. Let's say you join a Parga in looking for group, right? And maybe you're not the best of players or whatever, and they kick you out of the group, but you've killed the first boss, because like usually the first bosses on Mythic is like a bit easier, right? So you can usually pug the first boss. But let's say you want to try and then get to the second boss, and I don't know, maybe your DPS is a bit low on the first boss or something, and you get kicked out of that group. You're then completely locked, and the only way you can then get into Mythic again, you have to wait till next week to start it. So if even just that little barrier that stops you being able to queue with like other random people is just massive. I feel like that Mythic raid lockout is just completely outdated at this point in time, and maybe they need it for like the first week or something, or 2 weeks of a tier to stop like, I don't know, like weird stuff going on in the world race to world first. But after like the first 2 or 3 weeks, I think they just need to get rid of it, because like it doesn't really do anything after that point other than be a nuisance.
But then we come back to the situation of should Mythic be a tier where you can like just pug it with anyone, or should it be something where you are sort of expected to find a guild, have an organized group to progress through it?
I don't think it should. It should be the penultimate experience in raiding in WoW, right? You should put in effort. I don't think like playing it, because I feel like pugging is casual. Or am I
Yeah.
wrong? Like
Yeah,
you can
definitely.
absolutely be a sweat, but I feel like pugging, you're not putting in effort into a community. You're not putting in effort into
Yeah, it's
finding the right
definitely,
people.
yeah, it's more of a
Now
casual approach, I would say.
raid size is, I think,
Um,
more important. But
I
I
don't know if I
guess.
agree with actually with it being casual. I think it depends, right? Because when I was pugging, like I feel like it was casual when we weren't doing Mythic, but it was not casual in terms of the time spent. Because it's basically it's kind of you're just doing a lottery where like, and I think this is maybe they don't want this to happen in Mythic, but like for Heroic, you're just signing up to this group so you can try a different group, and then if it doesn't work out and the group fails, then you try again. But you're actually the amount of time you're spending, you're probably better off joining the guild.
Yeah,
So I think it's like, yeah, the time, it takes a lot of time, but I think that you should be able to pug Mythic in like a coordinated, semi-coordinated pug group, like at least the first two bosses, I think.
First few usually is fine. Like, there's a massive difference, right, between the first 4 and then literally any.
Mm.
Kai'Vez is not that complicated compared to the rest of them, but like
it is
the
on 2 frames.
the first 4 at Brood Twister, like Silken Core and Ansrek, like those are really complicated fights, I'd say. But the
Mhm.
first 4 are just not. There's like a couple, like it's like one extra mechanic kind of thing, so it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like you need that level of coordination. I think that's kind of the thing that Blizzard go for. They go like the first few are kind of like puggable, and then after that, like they expect you to then
yeah,
the latter half of Mythic is sort of more for the dedicated guild. Like
Mm.
you probably could get Ansrek down a pug if everyone knew what they were doing, but the likelihood of that, you like a random group from LFG going in and doing it is probably slim to none.
well, maybe casual wasn't the correct word. Then maybe we should have been like
Mm.
commitment. It's a low commitment sort of way of playing, right? If you're pugging things, you
Yeah.
just log on when it suits you and when you can be bothered or
Relax.
whenever,
Yeah.
and then you do it.
I agree.
And
Relaxed.
maybe the penultimate raid experience shouldn't be low commitment,
Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah,
it
it
should.
should be
I
high
don't know.
commitment.
But I think then having the first, I don't know, like I'm not sure about the number, but maybe the first 2 or 3 bosses possible in a pug is nice because then those players who are uncertain about like, can I
Yeah,
do mythic raiding, stuff like that, they can go and have a taste of it and then be like, oh, actually, I like this. Like, I'll join a guild.
yeah, definitely.
But then commitment is different, right? So commitment, you have commitment inside the raid, you have commitment outside of the raid, and then you have like commitment for like, well, this that kind of rolls into outside the raid where you have like weekly stuff that you need to do. You have to do like if you want to push cutting edge, for example, you have to do keys to get gear. Like that then adds like to your commitment time, right? But you can
That,
still be like a 2-day guild, for example, and still get cutting edge within like a reasonable time.
yeah, that is a great transition to what I wanted to ask next as well. How do you all feel about Mythic Plus this season? Because I can only speak from my experience, and it was a miserable experience at that. I did not enjoy it one bit.
Yeah, as a fellow tank in the last season, it was incredibly stressful. Just constantly sweating about dying, like on any pull. It
Yeah,
was not fun in the slightest.
yeah, it felt pretty brutal. Just like expecting myself to like. I mean, you have to do it to some degree anyway, but it's usually like further up you go. But I felt
Mm.
like I had to have something ready immediately at the start of
Yeah.
every single pack, and
Yeah.
maybe I
Definitely.
just got lazy because things have been easier as like in previous expansions, but it always felt like I could sort of get the ball rolling a little bit slower in previous expansions, except for Shadowlands.
Mm.
Shadowlands Season 1 felt very similar to this in that I basically switched to Demon Hunter and just jumped around because if anything touched me on Warrior, I just died.
Yeah.
It feels weird that there are some tanks that like you can run into a pack and just kind of be fine, and then there are other tanks that you need to generate a bunch of rage or resource and then spend that
Mm.
resource before you've even got into the pack to actually survive. Like on
Yeah,
some warrior like I know warrior like probably one of the tankier classes, but if you don't play a warrior properly and you just charge into a pack, you can just instantly get slapped and just die.
Yeah,
Same with the
absolutely.
paladin. If
I
you
mean,
go in with like without shield the righteous, you're probably just gonna die immediately without if you don't have that like before you go in with the pull.
that was exactly
Yeah,
my experience. Towards the end, so I was playing warrior for the like. I try to play warrior whenever I can, really, but I was playing warrior this tier, and immediately, like coming to the end of a pack, my immediate thought was, let me reserve like my rage so that I can get a full ignore pain up and have a shield block running when I go into the next pack.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, I just started getting slaps, and hopefully I had something else that I could press, because if I didn't, then I was just going to get deleted.
yeah. It never felt like when I was struggling that it was down to something I'd done wrong. It just felt like it was just something that just happened.
Yeah,
Which,
so that, I mean, technically it is, right? Because I'm in the same boat. It technically was something we did wrong in that we weren't managing the resource correctly of having stuff running, but
yeah,
it feels bad when you're dying not to like a mistake in play, but like just an outright mistake in resource management.
yeah. I mean, there's a number of times as well where obviously you go in with your defensives up and then you're trying to save defensives for the next pack,
Yeah,
but then stuff is still alive and you're getting absolutely slapped
yeah,
by the current pack.
and it's a bit
That's,
easier.
that's the DPS. It's their
Yeah,
fault.
well, it is a bit
Yeah.
easier if you're playing with like a consistent group. If you have people who like you sort of can gauge how much damage they're going to be able to put out and things like that, then you know like how long a pack is going to roughly take to die and stuff. But when you're pugging, you just on that first pull, you just better pray and watch.
Mm.
What
But I
do
think
you? No,
it's
go on.
I think it's also interesting as well, like because I feel like the tank shock was real, coming from the previous expansion where you guys were like
Yeah, yeah,
just doing the dungeon by yourself.
yeah,
To this expansion where you were running in thinking that it's Dragonflight and then get one shot.
yeah. There was
It's a
some
totally
whiplash.
different experience.
There was definitely some whiplash there.
I tanked in the first season of Shadowlands, and this definitely wasn't as bad as Shadowlands tanking. Let's put it that way.
No.
But it was probably like somewhere close.
I mean, I swapped,
Not
right?
too far.
In the first season of Shadowlands, I tried playing warrior. I did it for like a few weeks. I was just like, I'm not doing this. Like, I could do this, and I could sweat out every single key and just be like exhausted, or I can press Elysian decree and just jump around. Like, why?
Yeah, that's where I'm right now.
He's up on that horse.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
What
up
did
here
you
on my
think,
high
Chai?
horse.
yeah. I'm interested. What's the healer perspective, Chai? How did you enjoy this
The
tip?
healing stuff. Well, the problem is I came in to this expansion as a holy paladin first.
Yeah,
Then I
yeah,
didn't really like it, and I wanted to play Mistweaver because I like the aesthetic of Mistweaver. To be honest, it feels nice, and I like the kind of in like pressing more than one melee button.
yeah,
Paladins you only press like that, but in Crusader Strike, I prefer like the monk playstyle. But it felt the whole, I can't really gauge it because I feel like I was learning the whole time. So I'm not sure if it's hard because I was learning. And I mean, in the first month I was doing M plus, I was playing the caster build because I thought that was the best thing. And then everyone was like, "No, that's really bad. Don't ever play that." So I switched.
Mm.
And then we had an issue as well at the beginning of the expansion, that Master of Harmony, which is the hero talent that basically puts like a healing dot or a DPS dot on things and does like big damage
right.
or like a big heal amp. It was broken, so no one was playing it. Everyone was playing Celestial Conduit, which is the one that summons like Swen and all the
Yeah,
Celestials. So I was playing that and I found it like okay, but like yeah, it wasn't really that great. I was learning it, but as soon as they made changes to the other one, which is supposedly the harder one, Master of Harmony, it became a lot more fun because I could see myself on the damage meter, and that was pretty fun. But yeah, definitely like tanks just charging in and getting one shot. That was and then like in pug, because I think the interesting thing is even though we're in a guild, I think most of us like we were pugging our M pluses. So yeah, definitely interesting in pugs when you're a healer because ultimately when people die, it's your fault.
yeah. I mean, if you're in a pug, right, that's always the case. It's
Yeah.
always the healer's fault. But I mean,
I
even
just
when we
keep
played, sorry, go on.
I just keep getting reminded by the one scene when me and Chai were. I don't remember the name of the dungeon, but the one in Borealis, and the
Yes,
tank
you
is
do.
just
Yeah.
yeah, and with the at the shooting range when they're shooting it down, and you just get absolutely one shot.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the tank is just like, I got this, dude. He like charges or something at one of the guys, and then they one shot, like they just all shotgun him in the face. And it's a healer diff.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's some people
Yeah,
you
like,
just
one
can't help,
heal?
right? Yeah, yeah. Classic. I mean, even
The
when we
tank or
played together,
question mark?
I remember when we played together, we was like, there was some pools where we was just like pre-bubble of shaming me because I just
Yeah.
knew I was
Get
getting
the cocoon,
absolutely
dude.
destroyed.
Get the cocoon. And I'm sorry, but cocoon is so like
Yeah,
it's so weak. Buff
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Dude, even I got that as DPS, but I mean, I was also getting carried. Dude,
Just standing and
I
shit.
looked at my Warcraft logs. I have a 4% parse on
Don't
Rational
tell
and
people. Don't
Mythic.
tell people that.
Dude, no one needs to know
No,
that. You're a Mythic Blaster now.
I
You're
people
a
need
kid.
to know the truth. There is a difference between a Mythic Raider and a Mythic Raider, okay?
You're like the first four boss Mythic Raider.
I think honestly, when I look at my parses, I think it equals the amount of frames I had for each boss. So in Rational, I had 4.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right.
And it checks out with all those fucking ads, dude.
I don't think you're alone though, because like my PC wasn't bad before I upgraded. My PC wasn't bad, and on the first boss and on Brood, as soon as the ad started spawning, like I just went down to like 10 FPS for like 5 seconds every time.
Yeah, same.
I think, yeah. I mean, the add-ons ruined my PC.
Weak auras.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, block.
get a block for the weak auras.
Yeah,
That's the...
it's got to be done.
This weak aura was brought to you
Oh,
by Squarespace.
man.
No free
I can't.
advertising. What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
true,
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Don't take
Whoa, 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 whoa.
redacted.
Yes, I mean, so what do you think will happen going forward? Because there was a couple of us that saw the video. I think Quasi put out where he said if this was difficult for the tanks this season, he thinks that next season will be difficult for healers. So what do you think about that, Chai? Excited for that?
I'm still sweating from this season, so I don't know. Like, I mean, it's gonna be exciting to just see like how different it is for me because I feel like I've improved a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. And Mistweaver's looking good. Mistweaver is looking spicy in season 2 with
Well,
the changes they made.
they're not going to now. You just jinxed it.
So yeah,
No.
nah,
I
please,
think
please,
the
let us.
I think the final patch notes came out today, so you're probably safe.
Yeah, I think so. It's looking good.
Yeah.
Like our main problem was like on single target, our healing was kind of not as great because we have an ability that basically allows our lightning to heal when we're standing in our Jadefire stomp,
Right.
but it does like more basically on the amount of mobs you have. So it's like it will hit one mob and then it will like fracture into 4 other mobs, and it does like insane burst healing. But it does like hardly any healing on single target. So I think they are like slightly decreasing the damage they are on multiple targets, but increasing it on single targets. So that'll be nice to use. And then Chi as well. They've done something to make it better for single target. So that's going to be nice.
Kind of depends as well, like what people want from a healer. Like, do people want a healer that is just there to heal the oh shit, or not the oh shit damage, but like the damage that is just expected, that you can't, like unavoidable damage
Yeah.
on like a boss fight or something, or do people just want to be the godlike healer and keep people alive that are standing and stuff? Because it's going to vary. Some people want this, some people want where they only stand there and heal, and that's their only job, and like they enjoy that. And some people want to like only heal when they kind of like are forced to and want a DPS. And obviously in a Mythic Plus scenario, you kind of need a bit something in between. But
That is something I've noticed about from tanks and healers. It feels like more people are playing them now that really they just want to play DPS, but they can't get into keys, right? That's really what's happening. And then they swap over and
I
play
do.
them. Yeah,
I
yeah,
just play tank because I have to, because I can't get into keys. Well, Ret was good this season, but
yeah.
I still felt like because I couldn't be bothered to push above a 10, I was hindered by my score, and just signing up for a key as a prop paladin, which was also meta, which kind of helped. Just let me get into keys that much faster, and then queuing up and doing my 4 mists, getting that stuff out of the way was much easier than queuing up as rep.
Yeah.
And I just don't have the patience. Like, why would I stand there and queue for 15 minutes, spamming, trying to get into like any 10 I can, and then not getting an invite or clicking like, request to join a group and getting in within like 10 seconds? Like, why would I choose to do DPS?
Yeah,
I felt that pain.
that
Even
is a
me
problem.
at the end of the season.
Yeah.
No one wants me. No
Yeah.
one wants a lowly Frost DK.
But I think it's closer. DPS is closer to tanking than healing, and I think when you do it that way, it's
Yeah.
not that bad. But when you're a healer that does it, it's a very noticeable difference, right? Like you're just not healing people when they need to be.
Mm.
That's like the shift that I made for that exact reason. Like I was playing my hunter, and then I was like, I'm not getting into any keys. Let me just try healer out, and then I actually kind of liked it. I like the that you don't have like a set rotation. It's kind of more fluid. You like react more and use your cooldowns.
Yeah.
Based on how things are, rather than just going along with it or like imprinting Hakili into your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
I am
definitely,
Hakili.
like the learning curve is insane, and you notice so much more. Like, because you have to be aware of like other people way more than yourself, way more than like as a DPS. So I know when people are not pressing their cooldowns. I know when like people are like not interrupting, because obviously the health bars are going down. So whereas
Yeah.
when you're a DPS, you're just like you're just tunneling in.
Just blasting. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Obviously, I used to heal a lot, so that was always stuff that I noticed in the past. You definitely pick up on it.
How have you
As you
found
heal.
going from healing to? Because I know you went DPS after healing, and then now you switched to tank. How do you find the difference between tanking and healing?
Oh, it's so stressful being a tank. I mean, I'm going DPS for season 2, but
Yeah.
you're always just trying to pay attention to everything as a tank, like what you're doing next, what you're doing now, what are you standing in,
Do you mean
what
in
is everyone else
keys,
standing in. Yeah.
or do you mean in just raids, or like which one do
Well,
you find like
both,
more
I guess.
stressful?
There's a
Yeah.
very weird shift
Keys,
in
definitely.
raid.
Yeah.
In raid,
Raid,
tanking feels very easy compared to
yeah.
what I would imagine healing being. Because essentially every fight just boils down to like when you get this mechanic or debuff on you, taunt swap, right? Like that's basically what we've had for like
Yeah.
God knows how long now.
Even less than that though,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because it's like you just get a weak aura that says taunt,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah,
just taunt.
yeah,
You don't
exactly.
even like
Like
have to think
you
about
don't
the
even
actual
think
taunt
about it.
mechanic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
And if you
crazy.
miss the weak aura, then someone says "Tonta, tonta."
Yeah, yeah,
The only
There's
thing you
still
really need to
bosses
worry
that you
about,
have to move around.
yeah. Of
yeah, that's what I was
course.
gonna say, is like positioning of boss fights right and standing in the right place and popping cooldowns at the right time. Otherwise, you just get one shot.
But the discrepancy
usually,
between how like focused you need to be for keys compared to like a raid is crazy. I'm not really even in Mythic. It feels
Mm.
so much more calm than when you're actually in a key.
that's
Yeah.
because you have so much responsibility as a tank, right? You have to, again, you're positioning, you're pulling, you're in charge of the count,
Yeah,
you're in charge, like making if the death ball isn't formed, then people blame you. But actually, like again, there are people that can help, right? A DK can death grip something in and grip in that ad from far away or something. There's like always something that someone else can do to help you get things into position if
yeah,
they want to.
yeah, definitely. All right. Lastly, on the Mythic Plus, where do you guys stand on them bringing back the Motherlode, Fear of Pain? Like the dungeons we've had quite recently already being brought back.
I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, great.
Nice one, Herex.
Let me just.
Didax excited to experience these dungeons for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I've done them. The mother load is the no. I mean, let me come back to you guys.
Frantic googling.
Yeah. Oh. No. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it'd be really good for them to go back to some of the older expansions and maybe rework the dungeons more into something that are like M+ friendly.
Do you think
What do you
that's
mean by
what?
older?
Oh.
What do you mean by older?
Like, 'cause I don't think they do like vanilla dungeons or TBC or anything, do they? Like, they're
The
all
latest, the
Yeah.
earliest we've had is Cataclysm now
yeah.
with what was it, Grimbatol? That's the latest
Mm.
dungeon. Sorry, the most like the earliest dungeon we've had.
I think
Okay.
dungeons used to be like a lot longer and just different layouts, where I think nowadays they're more with M+ in mind as
Yeah,
regards the layouts. So yeah, they'd have to probably redesign dungeons with like mob placements and maybe adding new shortcuts and things, but it'd be nice to get some of those older things. Otherwise, I say you just end up with repeated dungeons that just feel like they're back already.
Okay, copium take here. This expansion is all going to be very recent dungeons that we've had previously, while they work on the old ones for the next expansions.
did it really have to do that much to each of them though? Like,
Copium
even if
is
you bring
right.
back the blood furnace, like you can still make a boss that has like 2 or 3 mechanics.
I feel like they pick dungeons specifically on the lore that's tied to the dungeon as well. It's like you might not realize it, but with regards to like the story of WoW, I feel like they're picking dungeons that are relevant.
Right, Motherlode makes
So-
sense.
So-
Mechagon doesn't make sense. Theater Pain doesn't make sense. Unless
why
Mechagon does.
doesn't
There's no
wait,
goblins
what?
in Mechagon, right?
No, but it's kind of like goblin and gnomes are always at it, so I guess.
Yeah.
Theater Pain is just, I don't really understand that thing. That's just some random.
I think they
Shadowlands
just ran
dungeon.
out of
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
Did they just run out of things to think about? Like, I don't know.
I think that's
I'm
what
not
happened.
sure what the relevance there is, but I'm sure there's something that could be picked up on. Something. I know it.
I'm really not looking forward to Mythic
You
Cluster
know
season though. All those dungeons seem horrendous. Like, even just doing any of those dungeons in Meadery, like Dark Flame Cleft, like Rookery, Priory, like the Consecrates in Priory. Everyone's just gonna be crying when it's time.
I mean, they've done multiple nerfs to all the dungeons and like those mechanics and things, so they were painful at the beginning, but I don't think they're going to be as bad.
I think that's cooked. Every dungeon,
Maybe.
every dungeon, every season they always like overwork the dungeons and make them like difficult. And
I
then
wish I could
you have to
argue.
wait 3 weeks
Yeah,
before they become like okay.
that's exactly what I'm expecting as well. And it just feels so pointless, right? Like, again, you're back to that point where, sure, you can struggle through it for the first couple of weeks and just like try and grind it out, or just wait. Like,
Yeah.
let them fix all the problems and then we'll be good.
And I think it's the double whammy, right? Because you start a tier with less gear, so you're under geared. You're then doing a dungeon that's like 1 or 2 key levels higher than what you're supposed to be doing. Like, so it just
Yeah.
feels like even worse. And then when you get the gear and then nerf it, then the dungeons feel fine.
Yeah.
But it always takes them like at least the first month to get like dungeons into a place where they actually don't feel like you're just getting wrecked by everything.
I'd much rather have it that way than everyone just instantly doing a 10 week one.
I think
we
you'll
normally
have that.
we normally do 10s like week 1, right?
Yeah, it's
Well,
only the first
Beyond
season.
everyone though, it's like there's the people like a step below, slightly more casual that maybe wouldn't otherwise be doing it. That
But what is the problem if they do get it?
Too easy. I mean, it's just no. It's
I think
The problem
progression.
is, if they get to 10,
Like,
they're only going to ever do 10s, right? That's like the high thing. So if you're getting there too early, you just get bored.
Yeah.
But there's no climb.
that's an inherent game design problem, though, right? That's not like an issue with people.
I think they're trying
if
to
you're
solve
getting
that
bored-
though, because the new mount they've introduced comes in now at 3k, I think, which is like, is that everything on a 12 or maybe just one, like
Really?
mostly 12s?
I think
Sounds
it's
like
13s now. I
Is
think
it
they buffed
13s? Yeah.
It was
Okay.
2850 or something, and they buffed it to 3k. I think 3k is around all 13s.
All 13s, yeah.
Isn't it a
think-
Right.
weird number? Like 2850 or something?
No, it's 3000.
It's been
3K
changed
now.
to
They changed
3000.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
It
makes
makes
way more
sense
sense.
3K.
it
to be
was 2850.
So I don't think the like doing 10s in week 1 is the big deal it used to be, because it was pretty big if you could just get it done like immediately and forget about it, right? But
And they're
now,
going to have
changed
the
it.
about it.
elitist group leaders that are like looking for it, and now they're not going to be able to like trust that the person's actually good.
yeah,
Based.
What does that even mean? What?
Right.
Well, if you
Like
can
that
do
they
your
know
10 in the
what they're
first
doing.
week,
Yeah,
you can't
because
trust
the
that people will
dungeons
be
are
good.
just too easy. Like so many people are going to be doing it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but don't you know that 10s are supposed to be 20s in the previous patches?
do you guys agree that that was a good idea? That's level squishing the keys.
No.
That doesn't
I
even.
don't
It's
even
not even true.
understand why they did that.
There's no way that 10 is what used to be a 20. There's no way.
Every season's different and relative, right? Because like the beginning of Dragonflight, some of those I remember being in 20s for hours, like 2 or 3
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Like none of these 10s were that bad. Maybe they took like an hour or like a bit longer than an hour, or you won the boss like 5 or 6 pulls or something.
Yeah.
But I did not have a single dungeon that took me
Oh
like
my god.
over 2 hours to do.
I
And
can't
first season Dragonflight was definitely harder.
I can't remember who I was in a key with, but there was definitely one in I think it was week 1, but it might have been like the start of week 2, where we were stuck in Siege of Morales for so long, and it was terrible because up to the last boss, it was just completely smooth. And then we'd got to the last boss, and the dispels just weren't happening, and
Yeah.
yeah, it just turned to chaos.
What, you mean this? Was that this tier?
Yeah, this tier. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
pointing fingers,
No.
but there might be a certain little warlock who might be
Oh,
wasn't
about
pressing his dispel.
I just remember
Whoa,
it
whoa,
being
whoa,
so
whoa, whoa.
close, and we
What
just
kind of
got.
warlock was he playing? I need to defend the warlock in the room.
No, it wasn't a
What?
warlock
What
issue.
warlock?
It wasn't a warlock issue.
Dispel, dude. It depends. If you're playing demonology, dude, you ain't. I mean, tough luck.
Dude,
You
you had
ain't
one
getting
job.
that dispel.
You had one job in that dungeon. That was to land that dispel in time.
I was
So that means
pressing the
you.
button. It just didn't work because I was
What were you
retarded.
playing? What's it called? Fel? Chaos?
Destruction.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
So
was
then you
real
had
close.
access to the dispel.
Yeah. It wasn't an issue that it didn't exist. It just weren't happening.
Yeah.
It was a
It was an
tragic
issue
run.
that the pet was out of range.
I just remember it because we was laughing about it for so long afterwards. Like initially it was annoying, but after the key it was pretty funny.
Yeah, with the
I've had.
key level squish, I think it was good. There were so many just redundant levels to keys that they didn't mean anything.
I mean, I
Now
guess
the same
every
thing, right?
one you go up it means something.
Doesn't it
But
mean
then-
now that everything below a 10 is just pointless though?
Hasn't that?
No.
But everything below, like,
yes,
what was it, a 17 or 18 back in the days?
anything
Was
below
also
6
pointless?
is useless, right? Because you now have delves, and there's no point
Mm.
going into a key and doing a key that's like a 5 or a 6 that gives you less gear than delves give you.
Again, you're talking about like the top level players. I think for most of the player base, it's a lot more casual. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
lot more meaningful.
No, but it's not
But
even that, right?
they're not
You
even there. They're in Goldshire.
you do a 6, for example. I can't remember the exact
Mm.
high levels, right? But you do delves, you get a certain number of gear. What was it? Is it 6, 10 high level from the delves?
Yeah, somewhere
I'm
around
not
there.
sure.
6 something, 606 was it from delves? So you go into delves, you're just chilling. You do like 8s, right? You can go through at your own pace. 8s are like relatively straightforward for most people once they have a little bit of gear from like heroic and stuff. And then you go into, mythic. I don't know, 6 or something, which is the same eye level. Well, which is probably roughly around the same equivalent of difficulty as a delve. And then you try and do a 7 or an 8, and you just get absolutely battered.
Yeah.
And then you don't know any of the mechanics, right? Because you've skipped all that stuff. Because the ramp to do these dungeons, like the on ramp to do these dungeons, is kind of high. Kind of
It's
feels
just adapting to the change, though, because I think a lot of us are still thinking in terms of going up to 20, and we're stuck in that mindset where it's like I said, each level of Keystone now is more meaningful.
I
I don't think
wish
it even is though. You get less keystones that are meaningful.
with
You
the
have
sorry.
like no one's doing above a 10, right? Well, some people are doing it. They're going to have that gap where there's people who are hardcore that are going to be doing like plus 15s plus, so like 15s up to like 20s or whatever. So you're going to have those range, which are like the proper like hardcore people that only do keys because they just love doing keys. Then you're going to have the people that push from like a 10 to like under a 15. So like 10 to 13 people will do like those keys because they just like most people in that range are probably just doing keys because they enjoy doing keys and they just try to push and just do whatever difficulty they can. Then you're gonna have the people that are stuck at 10s that are just doing 10s because it's the only thing that gives rewards. Then you have people under like 6, which basically gives you nothing once you've done like open world content and delves.
Mm.
So it feels like there aren't that many levels of keys that are actually sort of accessible to your casual player base.
But isn't the like idea behind that you're able to choose between doing keys and doing delves? I mean, one
Yeah.
is probably easier than the other, right? I assume delves are easier in general, and you spend
They were
less
at the
time.
start, and then they buffed them and made them like much harder to do on your own.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's to give like multiple avenues, right? And then
Yeah.
the delves can also be more of a solo activity or like 1 or 2 people. And then when you do a keys, there's a bit more of a like there's a bit more weight to it. But I mean, just a question like about these levels. Has anybody actually done +3 ever?
I
Like
mean,
the
back in
first
the
week, I
days,
think.
season
plus
1 of
3?
Dragonflight.
Wait, I don't
Yeah.
think we did a +3, right? I
Like
think we
threes. I
got
feel like it's just such a weird
I mean, you're gonna go straight. Realistically, if you do any
mosquito
content
exists.
like
you go straight to like a 5, right?
outside of what, if
Usually.
you do anything more than world questing, you're gonna immediately +3 the 2, right? So
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah. So that's like one thing that I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't. But maybe other people are doing +3s, I guess.
but I think part of the going back to the on-ramp issue, I think that's a real problem. And something I would actually quite like to see is the things that one-shot you at higher levels. I'd rather if they just one-shot me at low level. Like, just let me learn what's
Yeah.
gonna be deadly early on, so I know in advance.
But I also feel like that
Mm.
stuff should be kind of clear. It should be like relatively like obvious that something is going to one-shot you. Like if it's an interrupt that's going to one-shot you, like make it look like scary and
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it will one-shot you.
And
It
it's
should
not
Not just like some little animation that's like
Yeah.
their hands glow a little bit red or something.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it has to be something like quite obvious to
A big
indicate that it's
visual
actually
effect.
vicious. Yeah.
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 You shouldn't have to go to a third-party website
No.
and input your character and then the level of the key to see what's going to one-shot you.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's
That
crazy.
exists.
yeah. So you can prep for
Oh,
like high key players use it because they prep for
I
those
mean,
keys.
I don't need that. I
It's
don't need
so
that.
crazy.
I
Like
got the bubble of shame, dude.
the bubble of
Keeps me
shame is all
going.
you need. But yeah, I mean, I think I am probably where most raiders end up. Wherever like the highest reward stops, that's where I'll be going to. I'm not pushing. But like, unless I'm going for something I'm interested in, like that mount, I might try and push for. But generally speaking, I'm just gonna fill my vault and be done. I don't
Just
really
wait.
enjoy it.
Just wait till the end of the tier, right? And then just try and
Yeah,
get 13s done at the end. Just
exactly.
get a group and do 13s with the group.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's kind of one of those, if you're not first, you're last. So it's like, if you're not pushing like the top keys in the world, why bother
Exactly, yeah.
doing anything in between?
And that's part of the
Mm.
reason with the guild. Like, I just hate it. I hate the Mythic Plus. I think it's so annoying. Unless you've got like a fixed group. Every time I've had like a guild where I have like a fixed group to do it with, it's fine. But whenever
Mhm.
I'm pugging, it's just a miserable experience.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hate pugging.
I think that's the consensus as well. I'm not really sure why it's so hard for everyone to like find a group that they enjoy playing with and just do that, but it definitely isn't easy.
No, definitely not.
I mean,
Sucks.
at work, not everyone is gonna like you at work. It's the same shit everywhere.
That's not true. Everyone likes me.
That is not true.
You just hate all of them.
Exactly. If everyone likes you, then what's it called?
You're the
Your
I think
problem.
one of
problem or whatever.
the things as well, and maybe this is a question I can put to you guys as well, is like, what do you think of the differences or like the interactions between the game modes? So like that you have to do these M plus to get your vault, and then you have to raid to do M plus. Do you think they should just be completely separate, or
I'm not
I
sure
mean,
how
you
you
don't.
can.
Well, I guess you do have to do a little bit of M plus so you can start raiding. But can't you like just go raid finder into normal gear?
No.
The level of raiding you want to do matters, right? Like, I don't think every raiding guild I've ever been a part of that's going for Mythic would expect you to fill your vault each week.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, we're the only guild I know of that's fine with people just getting like four Mythic Plus done on whatever the highest is, and then just being like, that's enough for the week. If you want to stop there, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
that's because the
that's
Blizzard put in the
I
system,
think-
right? If they
yeah,
changed
that's
it,
yeah,
is that better for the game or is that worse for the game?
I
like
don't
that's
know
only
how you
because
fix
you
it.
want to get to the level of raid you want as quickly as possible, right? It's not like you have to.
I mean,
If
that's
you
what
had
I'm saying though.
It's not like you have to do M plus to start doing mythic raiding.
I think at the
Technically
start,
speaking,
I
it
don't
definitely
think you
feels
will
like
get in.
there's a what do you call it? Like there's a sort of diminishing return, like of enjoyment. I think at the beginning of the expansion, it feels all like tier. It feels fun to do keys because you actually get something, and maybe this goes back to like you're actually getting reward. But even then, it kind of feels a bit crap. Like when we were doing keys at the beginning of this tier, I felt like I spammed a lot of keys and didn't feel like I was actually getting that much gear. But at the same time, you kind of feel like you need to do it because it's the only real way to get gear. You can't really get gear outside of keys other than maybe like the odd map delve.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's something they need to sort out, like having just not getting it. Like there's 5 people in the party and you get 2 pieces in that chest and they're just random.
It used to be 3, and they
Yeah.
nerfed it when they added the vault because they thought that like gearing was too easy or something. I don't know. I disagree every time they make me have to do more content to get the same amount of loot.
Mm.
I don't know how you separate them without invalidating like one source of content. I think they like the way it is now because people do keys to raid, like so they get gear to raid, and raiders feel like
Yeah.
they have to do keys to get gear to raid, right? Like,
Yeah.
whereas if you separated them, I'm pretty sure there would be a large portion of the player base that's like happy to just stop raiding or stop
Yeah.
doing keys.
Yeah.
But then that's like, isn't that better for the players, right? That would be better for the players.
It is,
But
but it's
bad
a
for Blizzard, I
business,
guess.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And from a business point of view, I don't think that's a good thing for them because what will happen is you'll reach your end goal quicker and you'll just stop playing, right? That's what will happen if they're completely separated, which is weird because I can't really want to say this, but I think the healthiest gearing time for me was probably season 1 of Shadowlands. I feel like everything I did was worth doing, and even doing like rated battlegrounds and stuff felt like a good use of my time at the time.
That was because you got the PvP gear that you got was actually usable in PvE, which I think at the moment it's not.
Yeah.
Isn't
But
it like downgraded
Yeah.
to a certain eye
yeah.
level?
Well, it
Yeah.
upgrades,
But
I think.
upgraded when you're in, but
Yeah.
the actual base eye level is lower than like normal
Exactly.
gear, so it's just pointless to use in PvE.
But that
And
felt
then
best to me because that was like there were pieces that I needed to get from PvP. I needed the dragon scowl from the other side, and I also needed gear from raid, right? So like I actually had to do everything, and it actually
yeah,
felt better than it does now.
but that was when the rewards actually was suitable for you to get. Like now you couldn't go and do PvP to get gear.
Yeah, no. Yeah, of course, yeah. I'm definitely a
Yeah.
reward-driven player, right? But I think
I
that
mean everyone is, I think.
everyone is to a degree, yeah.
Mm.
But I don't think splitting the player base is going to be good long-term for the game, for the long-term health of the game.
I think forcing people to do stuff they don't want to do, not good. A good idea either.
oh my god.
Some people
I
don't
think
want to do keys, right? Some people do want to do keys. Some people don't want to raid. Some people do want to raid. So it's
I
like
mean, that's
kind
what
of
makes you feel like it's a job, right? If you're doing content for the thing that, so you want to do this one thing, but you have to do this other thing in order to do that.
yeah.
Me
And then you
trying
end
to
up
do older content.
What if you could target what you were trying to do? Because one of the things I hate about Mythic Plus is I can farm like 20 keys of the same dungeon over and over and over and still come out without the item I need.
Yeah, I think they need to do a better job at like making more of the loot like usable. Because I feel like we always end up with like there's like a trinket or something which just every spec in the game wants that specific trinket, and then
Mm.
everything else in that dungeon is useless.
That's
Yeah.
kind
So
of good when
then,
that happens, though. If every spec and every class wants that one trinket, because it then means that anyone in your party can loot it. So it's actually easier to obtain. If you have that one item that's only like obtainable by one class or two
and
classes,
so many people want it as well. It's
yeah,
like
Yeah, but if you're
You
playing
have to
within a
hope that
guild,
the
right?
item drops in the first place, and then you have to hope that no one
Yeah.
else needs it so that you can get it.
I
Yeah.
don't
And
like
Mythic
that
sucks.
item isn't farmable. So this tier, for example, that was basically sack brewed, right?
That was
And
Sackbreed,
I
yeah.
was
Yeah.
fortunate enough to get it week 1 in the vault on like, oh no, week 2 on Mythic, like 10. So it was a Mythic tier item. But if I was farming that week in, week out, trying to get it, that would have been infuriating because you can't farm it. You can't get it from the dungeon. You just have to luck it
Yeah.
in the vault.
Yeah, I mean that's what I had, right? I think I did it. I think I filled my vault all the way for like the first. I think I stopped doing my vault like early January. So when did we get the tier? September was it? Mid-September, I think we got the tier.
Something like that,
And
yeah.
so for basically the
It's
best
like the
part of
start
3.5
of September,
months,
isn't it?
yeah, the best part of 3.5 months, I was getting like two vault slots and keys, and I never got a sack breed.
Yeah, that would drive me
It just
insane.
feels so crap, like to
That's
not get
literally
it.
where
Is
I am
that
right now.
is there anything they can do to target it? Like, do you think targeting items like there's a bad like protection system or something like that?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think they
something
even need to do
said
that, right?
a while back. Like, yeah, you get some currency that you can like go and buy the specific
Or like
item.
dinars, yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't
I
that
think they even
be?
do one more though on that, right? Surely they just allow you to upgrade the item all the way. Like
So,
once,
yeah,
Mm.
like if even if they don't introduce it at the beginning, like a third of the way into the tier, they should allow you to upgrade
Oh,
your trinket like to mythic level.
you
Because it
know
just
what they
feels so bad, right? To farm sack brood for months and months and months, not get it, and then
you
you could
yeah.
then just upgrade it.
You know what they could do though?
but
I'm just thinking about it. You know those little coins you get from the vault that you choose when you don't get anything good?
that's what I was going to
Yeah,
bring up. Use that to buy dinar.
Yeah.
yeah, fine.
Or
But when do they bring
like
it in?
use that to like buy a thing that upgrades your item.
Yeah, I mean that could be a possible fix, right? Like you could
Mm.
use that to buy dinar and then have to reuse that to like upgrade it from like tier to tier. But it would have to drop at a reasonable tier. Like you can't expect people to do it from veteran. Like you can't dinar a veteran
No,
item
no,
and
no.
go all
It's
the
got
way
to be
up.
from the tier below, right?
Yeah, you get it once on like heroic, and then you can get it again to upgrade it to mythic.
But I don't think that's necessarily a problem what level it drops at, right? If as long as it can upgrade all the way, it doesn't cost anything to upgrade, right? Or was
Yeah,
it Flagstones? Was it free? I can't remember.
it was crest, right?
Yes, and Flightstones, yeah.
Yeah, both. Of
Well,
them.
no, it won't be crest if you already have a trinket that's higher than it, or like max.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. There's also like the flights. Is it Valor Stones now, right? Is there any
Yeah,
point in
sorry.
both? Like, do we need Valor Stones
No,
and crest? Because I find
no,
it so annoying.
no, get rid of them.
But it's because of when stuff becomes free, right? They still want you to pay some kind of cost. Otherwise, you'd just be
Yeah, I
upgrading
have
your
already. That's why I
thing.
can upgrade it. I paid the cost of farming the gear previously.
Yeah, they want you to spend more time, brother.
Like, oh, I don't know. That sort of thing just infuriates me. There's just no need for that.
So you can go to those 8+8s
Yeah,
and farm them,
exactly.
or
Exactly.
whatever it is that gives you the most thing.
Right. Did
Yeah.
you boys want to do the tier list? Do you want to go over the tier list?
Yeah, let's do the tier list.
All right. Hold on. Get this set up.
What tier set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me put this over.
I have not looked at this at all.
Oh, perfect.
You saved it
I
for the
got no
podcast.
clue.
Hey.
Exactly.
Right. None of us are math guys, so do you guys want to just go over aesthetics, or do you want to read it? Because there is a lot to read, to be fair.
I think we just do aesthetics. We've already been talking for like an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like we just do aesthetics at this
I
point.
agree.
Aesthetics is the real reason we're
That's the
mythic
real end
rating, so
game.
we can get that purple
Yeah.
tier.
True.
No one cares about how crap our set bonuses are going to be next year. And
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy podcast win.
Uh,
Right, so go on, introduce us. What
Wait,
we got here?
did you say a Final Fantasy podcast when?
I mean, yeah,
He
the
wants the
cosmetics are
glamour.
the true endgame.
True.
That's true.
Right, DK. I personally am sick of DK eating good. I'm sick of it.
It's hard not to though. It's a
Yeah.
DK, right? They just give you something that looks flipping edgy and with skulls.
Yes,
That
that's
looks good.
true. That is
That
true.
looks
Yeah,
insane.
make it look even
Incredibly
remotely
good.
Lich King-y.
I don't know if
Easy.
it's the PvP one or the Mythic one, but that looks insane.
All right,
The
this
red
is
tier.
the
Mythic
mythic.
one.
This is mythic tier. I'm pretty sure.
They don't
But
say
I mean,
PvP just then.
It's
it's hard not to say this is S tier for me.
Look at
That's
the
it, dude.
cloth,
For the
the way
best
it's
one.
been singed. Like,
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Beautiful.
The PvP got done a little bit dirty. I think that's the gladiator.
Oh,
Looks
boy.
horrendous.
But the
It
non-elite
looks like a
version,
DK set. That one looks pretty cool because it's
Yeah,
actually
that's
DK
cool.
themed.
Dude.
But
Dude, casuals are eating good. Look at the PvE raid finder.
oh yeah, true.
I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah,
that does
true.
look pretty cool, to be
True.
fair.
Come on. And then you look at hero in the normal.
You say
Oh.
casuals, but like,
We
how
skip
difficult
this.
is
We
it
skip
actually
this.
to get like
I
the
don't
tier set
know.
No
on
one-
Raid Finder? It's
If
so
you're-
hard.
No,
If you're unholy,
but-
dude, you're eating kind of good with this.
no,
No,
it's
that's
not
just
as
the
good as
the
green
other one.
part, the brown
Alright.
shit. It's
All
too
right, all right.
like
I've been voted down. Okay.
the heroic and up.
Right,
Go
this
back,
is
let's
S
do another
tier. Do we have anyone arguing this is S tier?
No, that's nice tier. That's A. That's A
That's
tier.
A tier.
The red
I'm
one is
stop.
S tier.
Are you
This
are you
is-
okay?
One good color does not make the whole thing S tier color.
It does. It does.
A
Let's see how
tier.
the other ones look.
Because
Hey.
they
first.
don't know how
I
to
mean,
match colors.
Okay, put it
Hey,
in A
yeah,
for now. Put it in A for
yeah,
now
put
because
it
let's
A,
see the
yes.
rest of them. The rest of them are probably like horrendous.
Honestly, Demon
E
Hunters.
tier. E.
The Demon Hunters are eating good. They don't even have a skirt
This
in this
one-
one.
Is not bad because they actually don't have their chest piece out and just yet.
Not showing their
No, they have
navel.
their chest
At
piece
least
out,
they've
just
got-
not their nipples.
They've got the
Hmm.
highwayman sort of vibes going on.
The helmet looks paladinish. Not gonna lie.
They just
Yeah.
look like budget warriors.
See, this is
Whoa.
what I mean. The color scheme, dude. The color scheme
color
doesn't
scheme
fit
is-
them at all.
makes sense.
This is like more,
It-
but they also
doesn't
like Demon Hunters
match.
only have one color scheme.
Green and fell.
Yeah, purple and
fine.
green.
The top and bottom halves just feel like they were made by different people.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom half
doesn't-
feels like a good set.
It just doesn't look
They
like a
look-
demon
they
hunter
looks
at all,
okay.
but it does look cool.
Yeah.
I like the shoulders and the head, but they don't really look
Um,
demon hunter.
I think from the
Every
shoulders
Warcraft
up, they
player.
look good.
Yeah. But again, I feel
very
like
much not a DH set.
we're falling into this thing where there's like a lot of detail on head and shoulders and then just no detail anywhere else. Like, what is up
No
with the
promotion.
legs? And like that, the dress has no detail. It's just like 2D. And then
I
it's
don't
like,
know, dude. Have you seen the Death Knight one?
Look
I
at
don't
that
know.
belt,
So
dude.
there.
it just
What is
feels
that? What's even
weird.
going in there? What is shriveled in that belt?
Shriveled
think
in the
it's
belt
because-
to relax.
I think it's because leather wearers don't. I feel like they're not capturing the leather vibes properly with the Demon Hunters yet. They're
Yeah.
leather, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, but
Yeah.
usually they have their navel showing, and they have like a little dress on, and I kind of like that this isn't that.
They should just always make like some Illidan shit. Like make him have fucking
Yeah,
all
that's
this,
so
like,
true.
wide samurai pants.
It just looks so confused. Like, look at the knuckle
Yeah.
dusters as well. Like, what?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
tough.
it's weird.
It's
It's
tough.
just
Yeah,
not
you're
demon
not
hunter
even. You're
themed.
not.
All right,
dude,
where
you're
we say?
ugly.
I'd say B.
That's D.
D. Yeah,
D?
D.
Straight into D, dude.
It's not that bad, surely
D
not.
for
D
Demon
for
Hunter.
dog.
Okay, let's put
Absolute
it
dog.
in. Let's put it in D for now.
Don't think about it relative to Demon Hunter's previous sets. Think about it overall.
All right,
That
all
is
right.
D.
The druid. I'm not even mad at this. Maybe it's
They
because
look
I'm
like a
forced to
tree.
swap to druid
To
this
go
tier.
from
No,
Raid
no, no.
Finder
Colour.
to
That's a
Go
bad
back,
color.
Raid Finder.
We've got
Go
no
back, go
detail
back,
on
go
the
back.
lower half.
That
Go
looks
back to
okay.
To the first one. Go back to the
Oh,
first
no,
one.
hold on. I might just have to do raid finder. It could be okay.
Yeah, that's what I did. Just this is the casual
Only, like,
Who's
experience.
drop on your
Well,
shoes, bro?
practice,
There's no need. No need for the BM.
Hey,
The
it's
purple
definitely
one look good.
looking. Is it autumn yet, or what's going on? Like,
I don't know. I feel like this ain't that bad. I feel like you guys are just
How
making
is
it
Pretty
hard.
good. Is that raid finder?
This is Mythic.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
oh
quite
my
cozy.
days.
Like,
That's the raid finder. Raid finder looks
Raid
better. I'll be
Finder
looks
honest. Yeah,
you can tell the same person did the top and bottom half. Like,
that's true. That's true.
That's what makes it.
It wasn't two
sense.
interns doing
Listen, it's
different,
better than
having
Demon Hunter.
different ideas.
Let's agree it's better than Demon Hunter.
It
Okay.
is. It is. I'd
Yeah,
say
that's
A.
true.
I'd say
way
A.
better.
Hey,
A or
hey.
B.
Low
Yeah,
A.
Dude, how can you
B.
put that at the same
can't
as
put it as-
DK?
That's a
You're
high B
crazy.
though. That's not a low B. That's a
No,
high
it's a
B.
mid
right?
B, it's a mid B.
That's-
I think if
Come on.
DK's in A, it goes in B. If DK goes up to S, it goes up to A.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been
Okay.
telling you
Yeah.
DK goes in
No,
S.
no,
I've
leave
been
it, leave
telling
it,
you
leave
that.
it, leave it, leave it for
Yeah,
now.
Alright.
You guys are
I'd
crazy.
agree with DK and S at the moment.
Alright.
He
Yeah,
stole
but
the
I'd,
red
What is this?
find.
What is this?
I'd
What is
agree to
this?
disagree with that.
This
is
goes
going straight
this goes in the
under
bin.
Whatever the bottom
This
is.
goes in the bin. Like, what is
Just
this?
straight
This
under
goes-
what even is that?
That one goes into Evoker tier.
Focus.
Yeah,
What does it actually look like?
It looks
Oh.
good.
That's
It-
clean.
That,
It
That's
looks
clean.
that looks
good.
exactly the same as one of the Evoker sets we just had.
Yeah,
just
and that
looks like
other
Rathian.
that is S tier as well.
We
That's
need to
S tier.
tell them to stop making tier sets for these guys because like you can't see
No,
them.
that is
Yeah.
S tier.
I
That
think the
looks
worst
so
part
good.
is you
S
see
tier
this
is-
picture and you go, "Oh, mate, this looks really, really cool. I actually quite like this tier set. It looks pretty sweet." And like Rocket in the town and like actually look pretty sweet. And then you
Yeah.
go into combat and you breathe a little bit of breath,
and then
to
you
the
turn
dragon,
into that.
and then you turn into
Yeah.
that. I think that's the biggest problem.
It's like how
No,
you
no.
think you look playing Evoker
That's
versus
going
how you look.
underneath.
How do I add? Can I add
You've got
one?
to put
Yeah.
DH into
Yeah.
C to put that on D.
How do I add a thing?
Press the cog wheel.
Yeah,
Wait, why do you have to add a thing?
I broke it.
Oh,
Add
you're
a
adding
row.
a row?
Add a row below.
Yeah, there you go.
You'll
And
surely
then
be
you-
back with the
and then
podcast.
it's-
You make it evoker tier.
Absolute dog.
Okay.
And now you need to press the up arrow on the
I think we need
C3.
two. We need the actual the gear set out combat goes S tier, and then the in
Nah,
combat.
nah.
Dude, the in tier. I feel bad for the
C2,
people who
press
designed
up.
this, dude. Their work is, it's looking good.
Sorry, what were you saying, D-Deck? Oh, Herax.
The the arrows on the right hand side. Press up on the C1.
On the C
No,
one.
not that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that.
yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
C becomes before D.
I can't.
ABDC.
I don't know my ABCs. I can't.
Me either.
I mean, it's just disappointing that the like
God.
fucking
this Hunter?
Dragonflight
Is that a Hunter?
exists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shambles, dude.
What is that?
it's like some weird chainmail.
That's
The
like-
helm is
going
just
on.
so weird. It's like
It's-
the
I mean,
Sylvanas theme, right?
Yeah, it is a weird Sylvanas thing. Honestly, it's human
mean,
Mal as well, right? If it weren't human Mal, maybe.
Yeah.
I
Human
assume the
male kills
glow
monsters.
is going to be like something and not just like whatever that other one was.
I think you're making
Nothing,
some strong assumptions there. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what that's gonna be.
It's
You
another one
think
I'm
that
getting
Blizzard cares about
Shadowlands
hunters?
vibes from. That's like giving Raven dress with the
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah,
Definitely feels
Absolutely.
like a Sylvanas tier and feels a bit out of place in a Goblin tier. I don't
Just
know,
It
you know.
might look better on a Night Elf
Yeah.
though.
Yes, yeah.
Night Elf, no.
Yeah.
With regards to being Goblin tier, that's not Goblin. It's not a Hunter set. It looks alright, but
I feel like you're right. It definitely feels
Gosh.
like some leftover Revendreth asset that they just didn't get to
Yeah,
use.
Yeah, but none of these are like Goblin themed, right?
No, there is some goblin themed gear, but it
I
doesn't
just
come from raid
realized.
tiers.
this cape. They literally have two capes in one cape.
Yeah,
Middle
this
part,
one
it
and
looks
then
like
this
a
one.
tiny cape, and then they have a tall cape.
Yeah.
Come
This
on,
is-
dude. It's the
this
worst
is-
of all worlds.
Dude, he's also got the Knuckle Dusters from the Demon Hunter set.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's the
Dude, my
definition of
melee
people
hunter.
designing the top
Dude, he's
and
got
bottom.
he's got toe dusters as well.
Where do we think? Where's this
Oh.
going?
I'd
Can
say
you
like
look at
C or B
EW?
probably.
The COB, yeah.
I'd
C
give
or
it a
B?
low.
That's a
No,
low
because I
B.
feel like that's on. No, I feel like that's
You guys
on
are
the
crazy.
druid level.
That's
I
not
would
on the
say
druid
low
level.
B, but
Low B.
low B, but it goes
No,
to C
C.
because it's a Hunter and it's not a Hunter set.
Yeah, I'll give it that. I'll give it that. Right, we can finalize these after.
That's a
Mages, another class that eats too good too often.
Yeah, that does look
that
pretty
looks
cool.
so good, dude. That looks
Well,
phenomenal. Like the
But what's
helm,
up with-
the gloves.
What's up with the slides?
This looks like we were supposed to get it in Dragonflight when we killed the
Yeah.
Ice Dragon and
It's
Yeah.
very-
had
Ooh.
changed plans.
It looks like
like
Sinarth.
the
Looks
light
like
one?
it should be a Sinarth tier.
That one there, but the brown, I don't know about that. That's gonna
This
make me
is
look like I'm wearing no
expensive
gear.
looking.
I like the
You're
That's
Mythic.
actually-
really good. Yeah.
You're a
It just
walking
feels weird
mineral
again.
ore.
Like
Because of
the
the
gloves,
colours on that
shoulders,
side.
and head all have detail, and then the robe just has nothing, and it just feels like completely out of place.
But I feel like if the whole thing was set, it would look like a shaman set and a weird one at that.
I don't think
It
it,
does
has to
kinda
be
It
look
just
like.
look like
yeah.
an ice cube.
I don't think it needs to have
That's
like
cute.
the whole thing covered in stuff, but I feel like it needs to have a bit more detail than what it has. It just looks weird. It just
Like
looks
on the
like
bottom of the robe, there could be something.
I actually
even
like
just like
this.
a few spikes coming off the side or something, or like a couple of spikes
Mm.
here or there. Like I don't know, just something to make it look like that it's actually
Yeah.
part of the same set.
Yep.
Right. I think that's pretty good though, to be fair, out of the ones we've seen.
That's
I would say
yeah,
that's
I'd
I'd
gotta
say
be
like A.
very-
I'll put it in A.
I'll put an A
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
I'll
But
put mine
DK
S.
It's just
in
not
S,
as good as the DK set.
It's
That's
it's
better
not
than
as good
DK
as the
set, bro.
You're
DK.
crazy. You're
You are
crazy.
insane.
That's better than the DK set.
Goku.
SD.
Are we Goku? Do you get S tier just because you look like
Again.
Goku?
Holy.
Raid Finder's eating
Colin,
good.
stop eating the mic. Stop eating the mic.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I
Raid Finder is
am-
eating good.
I don't know what's
Raidfinder, you
going on
got
here,
the Son
dude.
Goku set, you're done.
I don't know
Just
what's
feels
going
like
on here.
Pandaria.
That one I like. This coloration is quite nice one.
That
I
one's
just don't like
Mythic,
the
right?
feet poking out. I want to be like Lee Sin with my feet.
Oh, this is heroic. You don't want to be Lee Sin.
Yeah, with my feet poking out, dude. I want my feet covered. I'm kick punch blocking, dude. You go.
I don't know, dude.
I
This
think I prefer
expansion is for the
heroic.
Fleet and Warriors.
And you're getting the tattoos. It's part of the set. Look at that.
Yeah. One's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, monk is pretty
Ooh,
cool.
white.
Yeah.
The
Oh my
PvP
days.
set.
White. Hey.
Might be time to
Yeah.
go back to
Fine.
PvP.
Everyone roll
PvP.
monk.
I think the monk's one pretty good, but kind of weird though at the same time.
I kind of like it. What do you reckon?
I mean,
I'd say
look,
B.
They be
if anything we know
Yeah.
is that the Goblin vibe is totally off. There's no Goblin vibe.
Yeah,
It's
there's
not.
no goblin vibe. No
There's
goblin
no Goblin
vibe.
vibe any set.
They've
And
given
I
up.
honestly think that's good.
They've given up with themes, I think.
it could have been so good,
Well,
honestly.
It
It's
feels
sad.
like expansion themes because that's like Pandaria, right? It's
No, I mean, yeah, because monks are from Pandaria.
Paladins. I don't know.
It's decent, but
That one was pretty cool.
oh, that one's nice. Oh, I kind of like this
that
one.
No, it's
Yeah.
I
not
like
bad.
this one as well. Yeah, the Ash and
That
Paladin.
one's
dude.
cool.
That's good, actually. I like the
I don't
Mythic
like the
one.
heroic
I like that one.
I think I like the heroic one.
Or the
No.
Nah,
PvP
I'm
one
not
is
this one.
horrible.
No,
Oh my
both of
days.
those were
The
horrendous.
opposite of what I said.
What's going on with that
So
green
if we're
one?
going
dude?
off base with the mythic one,
I
I'd
think this is
say
good.
it's like A.
I'm assuming that this is going to be like blacked out, right? The face is going to actually be blacked out.
It looks like it. Look on the right hand side.
Yeah, yeah.
That one looks blacked out.
Do we think A for that one?
I'd say A.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not DK, but
A's looking pretty stacked. Like, we're going to have to...
yeah, I feel
That's
like
what
y'all
goes
are
with.
cooked.
We can move after.
Can you just move
Jesus.
this?
Is this
to
priest?
Yeah, it's a
Oh
priest.
gosh, the helm,
This is
dude.
horrendous, dude.
Oh,
What even
yeah,
is
yeah.
this?
Honestly, alright, I'll be the cooked one here. I feel like this one
Okay.
ain't that bad.
It's pretty bad.
Heroic
It's
one's
not
still
too
good.
bad.
Yes.
To be fair, it's not that the helm's not too bad because they can just carry the flasks on their head for the raid.
It's not that bad, it's worse.
It's
It
not that
all
bad.
depends.
Dude, the shoulders.
This-
I'm sorry, but like I've never seen rounder shoulders in my life. Like what the heck? They're
Yeah,
so
the
no, have you
shoulders are
seen
weird.
Dude, you got round
everything's
shoulders
so
right now, bro.
everything's just so smooth and round. Like
It's
there's
just
no
not
like,
A.
Wait,
Even the
It's just
cape
not A.
looks like it's made of metal, like it's too armored.
it
There's-
looks like something from like Borean Tundra, some leveling gear that would pick up Borean Tundra
Yes.
with sparks
Yes.
on it. Like
I think the design is the problem, but this might be saved depending on what the effects are.
That's
So
true.
you
Yeah.
see the halo at the top. I mean, maybe it pops, dude. Maybe
Yeah.
it pops.
Maybe.
But like the
Nah, dude.
lightning helmet, I'm like, when are you?
Dude, I thought I
showing?
was coping. What the hell?
Mm.
The PvP one looks good.
Nah.
Those color scheme, that color scheme.
Garbage.
What do you mean that color scheme that you guys
Nah,
are
That
crazy?
color
Dinosaur,
scheme is so
I
weird,
agree.
dude.
I
Alright,
agree.
what's it
It's,
got?
Absolute dog.
the-
It's not got an absolute dog,
It's-
dude. There's no way.
It's good and dog,
Nah,
dude.
it's
It's good and dog. It's gotta be
You
dog.
can't
It's
be.
gotta be dog.
No. To be fair, the
Easy to
evoker,
do.
like, no, it can't. Dude, imagine being that little bold blue
Yeah.
evoker sped.
Dude, this guy gets naked, okay? You can't put him in the naked tier.
He's not naked, dude. He's wearing his evoker.
I'll give
Bitch.
it-
better than the hunter set, but
It's better than the Hunter
where
set.
I'm at.
Are you listening
Yeah.
to this guy?
You actually, what are you
Not
talking
better than
about?
a hunter set now.
Like,
Get out of
dude.
here.
Dude,
Who's
this
paying
one,
you?
dude,
Dude, here we go.
I'm ready for the
We're
fight here,
eating
dude.
I like-
I'm telling you, this is
Design.
overrated. This is
This is
overrated.
not
Design-wise,
overrated
nah, dude.
whatsoever, dude.
Design-wise, you're popping off. Effects, color scheme. Let's see. Let's
Wait,
move
you're
on.
pausing on the worst. Go
Yeah.
back. Go back.
That's
Go
I
Mythic.
back.
feel like normal is sitting good.
Heroic.
That one
go
is
back.
like a bit
Like
over
one
the
more?
top.
That's
Hero.
normal.
Ooh,
looks
this
good.
one is
Normal.
cold.
I like
This
that
one's
one.
cold, dude.
Yeah.
Look at the pistol. Look at the
This one
smoke
is the
coming out of
best.
the pistol and his helm. He's got his little headphones underneath there as well. Like,
It's what Scott
Doesn't
Candy.
Oh,
no, in
It's
the
got
first one, it looks like. Oh, God.
It's
Oh, the
giving me
blue.
Morales.
Wait, the blue.
Bit of
Ooh,
cold
that's
look
Terran.
at
beautiful.
dirtier.
This kind of gives me like Davy Jones vibes.
Yeah.
Like he's on a ghost ship. Like
Feels very cold Terran to me.
Yes, yeah, it does. I
and
don't
then
know.
watch the weapons in
Not
the raid
as
be
good
like
here.
goblin themed, so you're walking around
Look
like a massive
terrible.
goblin theme. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just feel like this one's mad overrated.
No, dude.
It's not overrated. It's good.
Alright. Where are we
Yeah.
putting it?
That's S.
S?
Dude,
Nah,
you're crazy.
come on. There's
A-
no way.
A max.
Not an S.
There's only one armor. Guys, we all know there's only one armor
We've got to
set
put it in
that
S.
belongs in
Are we
S.
putting this
You're
in S?
crazy.
Yeah, it's gotta
No.
be
Yeah.
S.
No,
Come on,
no.
Gotta be
it's
S.
got
It's A.
skulls.
Wait,
And
Adam.
skull candy headphones.
Adam, what you
Yes.
saying?
I'd put it lowest A tier.
Lowest A.
Mace.
The S.
Mace.
The S voters got
Mace.
outvoted.
Yeah, but
No, he
Mace
said
is better
lowest.
No, he said
than Mage
lowest,
Warrior.
as in
Yeah,
it
it's
could
the
be
higher-
S.
Yeah.
No, like the lowest of those four.
Yeah, the bottom. He's at the bottom of the A. Okay.
What?
It's-
No, well, you guys cook.
Wait, what's it? Shaman. Where's Shaman? Oh,
Oh,
Shaman.
this is S. This is S already.
No
just straight S.
way.
S for
Wait,
Shaman.
isn't this
S.
tier 6?
Dude,
S
look
for
at his
Shaman.
No.
shoulders. They're for someone that's like triple
Dude,
his size.
oh man, it's S for Shaman.
That one's
S.
actually pretty cool.
You're absolutely cooked,
Oh,
bro.
S,
You're
S,
cooked.
S. Triple S.
Why are
S
all the
for
mythic
Earth
ones so
Shaman.
terrible?
There were one or
If
Remember
you
two.
want
when-
the casuals
Oh
to
my
eat
days.
good.
I remember when Mythic had their own tier sets, and that was pretty sick. I'm a big
It's
fan
just-
of that.
Beautifully. No, go back. Delete this. Delete. Yeah.
This one.
Good, yeah, this one, dude.
I like
This-
that one.
For me, right? There's not too much going on. It sticks with the shaman theme, and every piece just
Bro.
looks good, dude.
You're crazy, dude. Look at those shoulders, dude. They're bigger than his entire torso.
Right, where are we slamming this?
He's a shaman,
The-
dude. He's got the elements on his back. He's got big shoulders.
Shaman starts with S, to be
S.
fair.
Yes, I think
No,
yes.
stop.
I'm not putting that in
not
S.
even
He's
close.
not putting that in
It's
this. Oh my
that
god, it
must
can't.
be
There's no
what
more in A.
you
A's full. It can't go in A.
Yeah, the people are just.
Alright. We're gonna have to come back to it.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
I swear, if you guys want to put this in S, there's no way.
What?
I
No
don't
one's
think
putting
this
this
is
in
S
S.
worthy.
I don't even know what this is. Oh, hold on. Wait, maybe.
This is like a DLC.
The color scheme looks good.
That
But
looks
looks like that
the,
cool
the,
one
the
from,
face
Mo-
mask is like, what the fuck, dude?
Dude, take me back to the belly dancer ones. from last year.
Yes.
Take me back.
Honestly, yes.
Who is the
Yes.
boss from Warlords of Draenor, the one in the pit? I can't remember who it was called.
Not Garrosh, the other one.
Oh yeah, the one who's stuck in like the pit. Is it? It's not Manoroth, is it? Is it Terran? Is it Terran Gorfing? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
It's
I
one of the
remember.
pit lords.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
The only way
I
this
think
is S
is
tier
No.
I don't know. This
is
is
if that
terrible.
flipping helm opens up and demons come out.
This
That
one's
would
pretty
be cool.
terrible.
I don't think it's
Look,
bad, but I don't think
It's
it's,
just
good.
a lot going on with the shoulders and then nothing else with the rest of the set be underneath that.
The helmet
There's
is
spawns
insane.
coming out the
in
tops
all
that ruin it for me.
The helmet is insane in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Where's this going?
I'd say
I mean, I
B.
feel like it's still higher
That's a
than
C.
Hunter,
That's
but
not B.
I'd
The
say
hunter's
B.
better.
I see,
The
I
hunter's
see.
better.
The
The
hunter's
set's
better.
actually better. It's
Alright.
normal.
All right.
Actually, yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
I
I think we
think
have to
they-
move the
they can
hunter
be
up,
equal.
to be honest.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
I think so as
readjust.
well.
We'll readjust after this.
Okay, yeah, Titan Forged Enjoyer.
Right.
Click.
Oh my
The-
days.
The best set.
Really?
The best set.
Every time.
The best
Stop,
set.
Blizzard, please.
I feel like they needed
It's
to give
so
the
annoying.
helmet like some ears or something.
Dude,
Looks
it's
weird.
not a
The helmet
furry.
looks weird.
My
No,
days.
I'm
Oh,
not a
good,
furry.
even red.
Good.
Red
Look
Ranger.
at the color scheme.
Oh,
dude. He
no,
looks
this is
like
That
a-
vicious.
looks cool.
This is absolutely.
This
There's,
looks better.
don't tell me this ain't
Insane.
S. Don't even try
This
and
is
tell me
S.
this ain't
This is
S.
S, dude. This is
Yeah, I'll
S.
give it S. I'll
You
give
just
it S.
heroic leaped
Yeah.
into the S tier.
Chai, you need to lower your standards. No, you need to higher your
Oh,
What are you
standards.
talking
I
about?
think purple. You want the purple
No,
again?
he can't just say that every skin is S tier.
You want to put S tier, fam? S, put an S on that.
You get an S
Put
tier.
an
You
S.
get an S tier.
That one there, though. That one there.
That's got
Fucking
S tier. I
Oprah
don't care.
Winfrey.
I'll
No,
fight
you're-
you.
No.
This is biased.
I'm
This
sorry,
is
if
biased.
you guys wanted to
Put
put the
DK
DK in
Alright,
S,
tier
then
alright.
right now.
Hold on. Come on.
You are fucking cooked.
Right,
if you
we'll
don't put
adjust.
DK in the same tier.
We'll adjust. I honestly think DK deserves S.
Nah,
Yeah.
then Warrior needs to go SS.
Okay, we have 3 votes in the side table. Put it up.
No, that
Put it up.
warrior for me is D tier.
What are we
Base.
saying on the
Yeah.
I
DK?
agree. DK can go up to S.
Alright, let's get into S.
Absolutely. High
Okay.
S. It's
Right.
the highest
Mage,
of
dude,
S's.
Mage is kind of insane as well, to be
Nah,
fair.
no.
I don't agree.
No. Mage
Alright.
can't go up.
Paladin?
Paladin's good in A. It's not.
Paladin
Mage
said
It's not
above
perfect.
Mage.
What about the overrated rogue set?
Shaman needs to go
Rogue
to
is an
DK.
S, bro. I think it's low S, but it's S nevertheless.
Nah.
Yeah, I'd say S on the Rogue one.
Adam?
I put it A. I don't think it's as good as the Paladin set.
Alright. I feel
What?
like it needs 3 S's to go up, dude. I feel like it needs 3.
Okay, Simon, Carl, calm down.
I'm downvoting the Shaman one to D tier.
Detail. Okay, that's strong. Anyone else?
Dude,
Nah,
what-
Shaman-
what
Shaman- I think
enhancement
Shaman's S,
Shaman would
but-
run around with that?
But hey,
No one.
what do you mean?
You're crazy, dude.
Right, anyone else for the shaman to get demoted?
Did you see the pants, mate? Do you want to wear that instead?
Yeah.
I think
Nah,
Shaman's
okay.
maybe not
I
A, but maybe
I think
B,
it's
but like high B.
Oh, I think it's a
is
high
decent.
A.
High B.
Nah.
Look at that. Come
Alright,
on.
There's
we-
no.
It's already
no
low A. We
revives.
leave it low A. Low A is good.
Yeah.
Wait, that's better than the
No,
paladin.
high
What about the
B.
monk?
Nah, Monk's good where it is.
Monk
think
should
that's
go
fine.
up to. Monk should go up.
The druid,
Nah.
as someone switching to druid, I feel like druid is an
I think that druid should
ES.
go to C.
That's an
You're
easy
crazy.
yes.
Dude. What is his bias?
No, that druid should go to C, I think. C is fair.
Right, any C's for the druid?
Nah, I think it's fine where
No,
it is.
it's way better than a C.
No, because compare the monk and the druid, dude.
Yeah, but look
Come
at the
on now.
hunter. Though. The hunter has to go like off the table.
Y'all are cooked.
Okay, what is it that
Mm.
we think is weird about the hunter one that keeps it there?
It
It's
looks
literally the
terrible.
whole thing.
It doesn't
I
look
Yeah,
think
but
it
that's
just
not human
it
male
looks
though.
weird.
fair.
It just looks weird.
We're all basing it off human male though.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Like maybe the Warlock one would look
I'm
sick on
willing.
an orc.
I'm willing to leave it where it is. I feel like it
It
can
The
looked better
hound
on
is
Evoker.
a little better on the fuck. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Shaman, I think needs to go lower. I mean Warlock. There's no way that
Think it goes
that's
D?
that goes. Dude, I would rather be a demon hunter
All right.
or
We'll slam
priest
it D.
instead of a Warlock.
All right. Is that what we're
Yeah,
staying in?
that's good.
Everything
Yeah.
good?
There's
I'd say
shaman,
that's good.
shaman C
like
tier.
priest could go up to C.
No,
Nah, they ain't no-
definitely not.
Warrior's eating good. I'm happy with that.
No,
But this is bias.
that warrior set is just too basic. There's no
Dude, you're
flair to it all.
crazy. It is
It
flair.
just looks
It's
like a
warrior.
regular.
Warrior is the flair.
Wait, you're
just
saying Warrior's too
any
basic?
old,
You
like-
like that paladin set?
What?
You're saying the Warrior's too basic, but you like that paladin set and you want to put that in S tier?
Yeah, it's like the paladin set looks unique. That warrior set just looks like something you get from a quest overall.
Don't lie.
No way.
Don't lie.
Dude,
That
let
paladin is
me
not
do that
unique.
quest.
I
Let
don't
me
think
do
any
that.
of these things are unique. Like
I mean,
they
honestly,
are
the
maybe slightly,
question-
but like
No, the monk one is
question
unique. to be
rewards
fair.
that you get from
Not in a good way.
this expansion is kind of popping, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
The
The
fucking
quest rules
Sacred
is
Flame
good.
set, fucking, it's
Yeah.
good.
All right. All right. That's the tier list. It's official.
That's
It's
such a
so-
shame.
it's so
Evoker's
wrong.
tier looks so good though, without being in
Yeah.
that form.
I mean, it's
I feel like it's the same every
Blizzard's
time.
fault. It's Blizzard's fault.
It is Blizzard. Do you wish that they did theme it to the raid, or do you think it's fine for it to be just whatever
I think
looks
they
good
have
for the
to
class?
theme it to the raid.
Honestly, I don't care. Give me
Theme it
whatever
with
looks good.
class
The
theme, I think.
raid. But then
Yeah,
it might be
I don't
hard,
care
right?
about-
Yeah, I don't
What
think
do you mean?
everything goes well. Like how you, I guess you could have like a goblin tech mage.
They tried raid theme and then it just looked horrendous because all of the tier sets just looked like the same because they did the same
Yeah.
colors for all of them, and I did not like that one bit.
Yeah, that's true.
They could have made more of an effort though. Like that mage set is.
Amen,
Oh,
brother. But that's all parts of the game.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we've been going for over an hour and a half now, so let's wrap it up. I want to ask you guys a question. We've already got player housing coming. What is the key feature you'd like to see that's unique for the next expansion?
Mage chart.
That's not unique.
That's
We've already
super
had it.
unique, dude.
No, but something similar.
Goblin Tower.
There's something that's like a skill,
Yeah.
a
Warlock
skill
Tower.
challenge. That's like
Hellguy's
rewards.
Tower, Medivh's Tower.
And what would it reward? Like a unique weapon or armor set or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
All of that?
Unique armor set and a unique weapon
Yeah, that
per
could be
class
cool.
on a per class basis.
Yeah, that could be cool. Anyone else?
Wait, you want us to
dunno,
cook up a
honestly.
new thing? Because
Yeah.
I wanted to fix leveling.
Fix leveling? How would they? In
Yeah,
what
dude.
sense?
When I'm tanking, I'm running in there. I hit level 60 or something, and bam, I'm a wet noodle.
Right. In
Like,
that
what
sense.
up, dude? There's so many Iron First tanks I can have.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah. Fixed leveling's a good call. Chai?
I want them to introduce like a practice tool in the game, so you could like load into this area, this practice area, where only you are. But then you could practice like and load mechanics of raids or of bosses, so you could practice that mechanic on your own,
Like the pineapple game.
like that. But actually, like
For real.
in WoW, like like in like Street Fighter games or like Tekken games, you can practice in that room
Yeah,
and then like set up your opponent to do certain moves and stuff like that. Like basically that, so you could practice a mechanic if you're having trouble with, and like you could do that outside of the raid, so you don't hold your like raid team back and you don't feel
cool idea. Adam?
That's just
Oh, I haven't got a clue. I wasn't prepared for this.
That's why I sprung it on you.
Yeah.
relax a little.
I mean, Charizard is pretty good. Other than that, I think just things you can do for fun. Like, I don't know.
You mean like in the vein of like the dragon flying race events and stuff like that?
Maybe, yeah, just like something like takes you out of like the grind. Yeah, I don't know. I guess something like maybe Plunderstorm or I don't know, some kind of roguelike game mode.
Yeah.
And bring back the Blizzard card game. Put it
roguelike.
in the game. Make it a
Torghast, is that
roguelite.
you?
Oh
Slay the
no.
Spire.
I
Red
think
No, I
Blizzard
mean like
Spire.
something dumb like I don't know, Binding of Isaac-esque.
yeah, that would be fun. All right, well,
Yeah, I don't know how they do it.
we'll have to wrap it up here because it's going on a bit long. But let us know what you would like to see in the future expansion in the comments below, and we'll get round to reading it and address it next episode. Thanks for coming, guys, and
Bye.
thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks for
Bye.
listening.
Bye.